So I think it's only appropriate that, given that I've been talking about royal people, that I address one of their duos that I personally consider pretty fun, and that I, of course, indulge in my own entertainment of it, and that is royal tiaras. In my opinion, I think the best looking tiaras have come from the Dutch royal family. And today I wanted to share the ones that I think I like versus the ones that I honestly can say I don't like. I find that some of them are definitely on the ugly side, but I also think that, like I said, they have some of my favorite ones, the best ones I have seen out of any royal family. So, without any further ado, I'm going to just start going down the list. So, we have the Star Tiara. I personally don't like this one too much. I think it's because I find the stars to be a little off. Like they need something. I wish that maybe where the stars are hanging, maybe there's like another vine looking thing connecting each of them. Something like that. It just looks a little too plain. And it just doesn't look like the kind that, on me personally, I don't think it would look good. And I also feel like it's a little on the lackluster side. It's not ugly, ugly. Something about it looks nice, but I feel like maybe if it were a necklace, what they're going for would work a little better than on a headpiece. I'm sure someone out there could rock it, but the images I have seen, I picked this one, but out of all of the images I saw, this definitely wasn't my favorite one. We have the antique pearl tiara. This one, I can sincerely tell you, it's ugly. First of all, it doesn't help that I don't like pearls, especially pearl-shaped pearls. If you have oval pearls, something about it, that teardrop shape, I prefer for it to have a more of a stone look as opposed to a solid color. And on top of that, I prefer spherical pearl looking things, kind of like that necklace I wore the other day. That is about as much pearl as I'm willing to do. But teardrop oval shaped ones, to me they're ugly. And what I don't like about this one is that it just doesn't look right to me, because it just looks like light bulbs on top of your head, just miniature light bulbs. Like, where's the cord? Where's the plug? Plug it in, and it'll go psh, illuminate. I don't think that's a very good design, no matter who wears it. Here we have the ruby tiara. I would say this is probably one of my favorite tiaras I have ever seen, and it seems like she also has an accompanying brooch with it, and the earrings, of course. Also, something extremely cool about this is that they have reverse engineered it, whatever you call that, into a necklace. I sincerely feel I like the necklace better, but I'm pleased to observe that when you tiaratize it, it is equally nice. It is super gorgeous, and I like how the ruby details are separated. I feel like they have been placed methodically, and I want to say that's probably my second favorite out of the whole Dutch collection. Now we have the laurel leaf tiara. That one, as you guys know, I undoubtedly like. I personally have two versions of laurel leaf. One isn't really stony, it's more of the leaves themselves just have like a silvery kind of, I don't know what you call the parts of a tiara, but you could say it's a twine looking thing that holds the pieces together. Well, mine doesn't really have a lot of stones going on. And then the second one that I have that's laurel leaf is the one that stacks a little higher. And that one is completely metallic and has the little stones going on in it. I personally think laurel leaf makes the best tiaras all across the board. If I had to pick one, I always had to go with a laurel leaf design. This one, I wish it were a little bigger. Like as opposed to just having one vine with leaves coming out of it, I wish it were a double vine or even a triple vine if you can execute it correctly. But I want to say this one is probably my fourth favorite tiara out of the Dutch collection. I think it's really nice. It's simple, but I wish it were just a tad bit bigger. If you're gonna have a single vine, maybe make it a little bigger, but I feel like it wouldn't look right unless the leaves were bigger. The emerald tiara. This one, sincerely, I think it's one of those ugly ones too. I think what I don't like about it is how dispersed the emerald details are. And I don't like that the tiara is too skinny. Maybe if they were to double it and have another stone in between the primary stone and the stone on the corner, if you were to have one more stone sticking up from there and then you doubled the vine, I guess, I think it would look better. But just like that, as it is, nah. It could look extremely nice as a necklace. I can tell you that. Like I'm trying to imagine it as a necklace by holding my second screen here upside down, and it does look pretty good. That would make probably one of the best necklaces next to the peacock one. Now we have the aquamarine tiara. This is another one I can sincerely tell you it's ugly. I mean, these pearl shaped aquamarines are stony, like I was describing, that I would prefer. So I can definitely say I prefer this one over the pearl tiara better, but it's just not a very good design. How would I fix it? I sincerely couldn't even tell you. Let me flip it upside down. Definitely wouldn't make a good necklace. I think what I would do to it is maybe have one main stone and make the other stone smaller and scatter more pieces of stone onto a... This isn't really a flowery leafy one, so I can't call it a vine, but maybe have 2 or 3 more rows of silver metal thing, and then from there scatter some of those stones. It just needs to be reshaped. Like those stones, I wouldn't keep that shape at all. I wouldn't even keep one main stone looking in that shape. I would prefer that they have a more, I guess you could say, maybe a leafy shape would be better. A leaf made out of stone. I don't know. It needs something, you guys. I would definitely throw that into AI and tell it some prompts and see if it can say better what I'm trying to describe in the form of a picture, show us a little better, because I sincerely do not know what to do with this thing. It's ugly. I like the earrings, but I sincerely don't like it. Now we have the, and I don't know how to pronounce that, Württemberg ornate pearl tiara. This is an example of pearls done correctly. I would say this is probably my third favorite tiara out of the Dutch collection. I like how big it is. It is the queen, so she has to have that bigger crown. And I like how, despite me not being a fan of pearls, I do like the design going on with the crown itself. And then the pearls are serving as the ornamentation. I would personally switch the pearls for stones, but the way it is, if I saw this in front of my face and someone offered it to me, I would be like, yes, I would be willing to wear that. I think it genuinely looks nice. Not my favorite. I think the fact that it's all one color, monochrome, is pretty good. I'm just not a fan of pearls, you guys. Like, to this day, I still have yet to see something made of pearls that I can be like, oh, wow. It's just not for me. I'm not really into spheres like that. I'm more into triangles. But I can say that I like how tall it is, how wide it is, and that the pearls are being used properly to where it's pleasant. I'm trying to imagine that having stones instead, and depending on the cut of the stone, that would determine how good this looks. But yeah, I would say that one is My third favorite. We have the ears of wheat. I gotta say, this one is not very good looking. This one's kind of ugly. And it's just lackluster to me. It's just the wheat shape of it. Maybe if it had another row, and maybe if the wheat leaves were a little bit more scattered, and the crown itself were golden or had more gold details. I can't really tell from this picture. I want to say it's monochromatic. Maybe if it had gold to it, or maybe multiple shades of maybe silver, gold, and maybe even a little bit of rose gold would look good. Something like that. And maybe scatter some pieces of stone on it to make it look like it has some flakes flying around something. I think it would look good, but the way it is, nah, I'm good. And finally, another tiara I wish to review is what I consider my number one, my favorite, the sapphire tiara. I think the height of it is perfect, the ornamentation in it is perfect, the number of stones is perfect, the way that everything is distributed, and the very center, how it peaks. I really think that is a pretty cute detail. I really like this one. It looks really majestic. It is for the queen, therefore, it has to give that feeling. And when I flip my device upside down, I imagine it as a necklace, and that would make a pretty banging necklace. It would probably be overwhelming, and I personally think the very top, I would probably throw another sapphire in there as opposed to leaving it plain white like that. But yeah, this is awesome. It is spectacular. I want to say sapphire is my number one, peacock is my number two, and then Württemberg is my number three. And the others we can live without. Well, there you guys have it. That's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed me reviewing Royal Dutch tiaras. I certainly had fun with that because I like to look at pictures, zoom in, zoom out, examine, evaluate, kind of throw my own feelings into it. And this was fun. I feel like I don't really indulge in jewelry like that. I sincerely have never been into it. Earrings were my thing for a while, and necklaces when I was a teenager, but as an adult, I think it's because of my job. I find it impractical to be all dolled up, so I just don't. And on top of that, I'm also pretty athletic these days, and jewelry, it just gets in the way. It's not really recommended, so I feel like I have to reconcile with jewelry a little bit. But I gotta say, I've had fun wearing tiaras. I never had one as a child, not that I can recall. If I ever had one, I must have been a really small kid, maybe under the age of 5, because I have no recollection of that. But I can tell you, I have always liked crowns and hats. I just never got around to owning them. And I think that the tiaras I have for now, they suffice. I cannot imagine really indulging in another one unless there's something that's really compelling about it. Outside of that, my little toy tiaras is just that, just toys. Okay, that's it. Bye.